Hello, Internet, and welcome back to the story Nook. Pardon me. I had to sneeze. Um, Today we're gonna read stories from r/entitled parents that I set aside like several weeks ago, but I just haven't felt like recording because I've been lazy and also, life sucks right now. But yeah, we're just gonna jump right into this. Go ahead, grab your tea, your water, your hot cocoa, your coffee, whatever it is you want to read.
Bloody disaster.
As
All my nights have fled.
my alarm goes off because they moved me to a different section, so now I get off at 4:45, but still have to wait until 6 p.m. for my husband to get off. And his lead isn't there, so he's having to be the one de facto lead because he's been in that section longest. So, yay. Life sucks. But our first story comes from user the legendary Haggis. Parents always dump their kids with me at family events. Me, Sarah F., I guess that means female, others are family members. It seems quite a few people have similar stories, so here is mine and how I handled it. I was probably a bit of an a-hole at the end of it all. I never wanted to be a babysitter, but somehow that's what I always ended up being at every family gathering. It didn't matter if I barely knew the kids or their parents, they would always find a way to dump them on me and then disappear. It started when I was 14 and continued until I was in my 30s. I had moved away from my extended family when I was 5, so I didn't see them very often, but whenever there was a birthday, a wedding, or a holiday, they would invite me and my parents to join them, and that's when the trouble began. The first time it happened, I was sitting at a table with my cousin and his wife, who had just had a baby. They seemed nice enough, but as soon as they finished their food, they handed me the baby and said they were going to get some drinks. They didn't ask me if I wanted to hold him or if I knew how to take care of him. They just assumed I would be happy to do it. I wasn't. I had never held a baby before, and I had no idea what to do with him. He was tiny and fragile, and he smelled like milk and diapers. He started crying after a few minutes, and I panicked. I tried to rock him, to sing to him, to make funny faces at him. Nothing worked. He just cried louder and louder, attracting the attention of everyone in the room. I had this happen to me. It is such a pain in the ass. I looked around for his parents, hoping they would come back and rescue me, but they were nowhere to be seen. They had left me alone with their child without a word of explanation or apology. I felt angry and betrayed. How could they do this to me? This happened many times over the years until I had enough. The last time it happened, when I was now in my 30s at a party and gathering with my husband's family, I decided to take matters into my own hands. Once again, parents came over to introduce themselves and left their baby with me, even though I clearly told them that I was uncomfortable with them doing so. But it would only be for a minute. 10 minutes pass, 30 minutes pass. As the hour approaches and the baby is getting very fussy, I got up from the table carrying the baby with me. They didn't get on the table. I would have done that and held up, "Hey, whose kid is this?" Or "Free kid for a nickel." Whatever, carrying the baby with me, and walked towards the bar where I had last seen them. I pushed my way through the crowd of people, ignoring their stares and comments. I finally spotted them, laughing and chatting with some other relatives, with their glasses of wine in hand. They looked relaxed and happy, oblivious to my plight. I marched up to them and thrust the baby into their arms. "Here," I said, "take your kid back." They looked at me with surprise and annoyance. "What's wrong?" my sister-in-law asked. "What's wrong?" I repeated incredulously. "You left me with your baby for an hour without asking me or telling me where you were going. You expected me to babysit him while you had fun. That's what's wrong." They exchanged shocked glances. "We're sorry," her husband said. "We just wanted to catch up with everyone. We didn't think you would mind." "Well, I do mind," I said firmly. "I'm not your babysitter. I'm your sister-in-law, and I came here to enjoy myself, not to look after your kid." They mumbled some more apologies and excuses, but I didn't listen. I turned around and walked away from them, feeling proud of myself for standing up to them. I thought that would be the end of it, but it wasn't. The next time I saw them, they had another baby, and they tried to do the same thing again. And so did other relatives who had kids in multiple occasions. It became a pattern. Every time there was a family event, someone would dump their kid on me and disappear. It doesn't matter if they were aunties, uncles, cousins, or in-laws. They all seemed to think that because I was an only child, and because I didn't have kids of my own, that I would love to play nanny for them. They were wrong. I hated it. I hated being treated like a free service. I hated being ignored and taken for granted. I hated being stuck with kids who were noisy, messy, demanding, and sometimes rude. I hated missing out on the fun and the conversations that everyone else was having. I hated feeling like an outsider in my own family. So I stopped going. I stopped accepting their invitations. They didn't seem to notice or care either. They never asked me why I stopped coming. They never apologized for what they did. They never tried to make it up to me. They just moved on with their lives without me in family party/events. And so did I. Edit. It sounded in the original post that I stopped seeing family altogether. I still see them, just never in party family gathering situations. And they act like nothing ever happened and life goes on. I love hanging out with the family outside of the party and gathering situation, and to be fair, the kids are great fun to be around as long as I'm not expected to babysit them, which I never once said I was okay with at any point. At the end of the day, we are all still family, and I think they got the message that I'm not their babysitter. They do now treat me with respect when I see them on the rare occasion for a visit, and maybe by standing up for myself to people I care about and love was that reason. For mine, so I have a large family. I have one sister who has, how many children does she have? She has 7 children. Another with 3, another sibling with 2 kids, and then 2 of my nieces, well, my nibblings, because I don't remember which, I believe one's a nephew, but at least 2 to 3 of them also have grandkids, like have their own kids now, because they're that old. But the eldest sister, she's pretty much a fucking Karen. She's an entitled racist bitch. I did a whole story time on her, actually. She left me, like, I wasn't even, like, it was after my parents' divorce and she had moved in with our dad. She left, said she was going to go get milk. I don't remember how old the baby was, but the baby was in diapers. And I don't think they were crawling or walking yet. But she said she was going to go get milk. The store is, like, 15 minutes away. 15-minute drive. So she should have been gone like 40 minutes tops. Getting to the store, parking, getting milk, checking out, all that. She should have been gone 40 minutes tops. She was gone for 3 hours. And this happened multiple times. Luckily, I didn't live there. I was just visiting my dad because I went with my mom. But I'm pretty sure she did it several times to my sister and turned her to a free baby for her daughter. Because our other sister lived there. And she's a domineering bitch. Or at least she tries. I don't put up with her shit, and I tell her to her face I don't fucking like you. In fact, when I called my sister, this was in the story time, she tried to get on, every time she sees me, she tries to be like, oh, it's so nice to see you, like this fake, like we didn't have an argument kind of bullshit. Try to be all friendly and fake and shit. And I'm just like, I don't like you. Why are you talking to me? I don't want shit to do with you. You called my husband the N-word. You said I was nothing but an N-word lover. And no, you can't lie to me and say, I would never say that. My best friend is black. No, bitch. You have said racist shit, racist, homophobic bullshit my whole entire fucking life. Like, I don't hang out with you very often, but I know for a fact you've said racist shit growing up. Like, no. We didn't grow up together because you're like 20 years older than me, and I'm not here for your bullshit. But whatever. I'm just like, don't talk to me. I don't want shit to do with you. And then she acts all huffy and offended, like, no, bitch, we can't play this game. I'm not playing your bullshit. We're not playing the monkey games. But yeah, I have a huge family, and it wasn't just her. My other sister also tried to do it, and my brother's wife tried to leave me in charge of their 2 kids often. Like, she would just turn on Twilight and pass out watching it, and then I would wind up looking up from my work and realizing, your children are causing a fucking mess, and trying to wrangle them in, and it was such a fucking annoyance. So, yeah. I don't babysit and I don't take care of kids. Especially with the fact, like, all my siblings would, like, bitch if you even tried to discipline their own kids. But I'm just like, you're not fucking watching them. Why'd you leave them in my care for, like, several fucking hours and not tell me where the fuck you're going? Like, that's something I hate. Like, every time I go somewhere and they try to hand me a baby, I'm like, no. I have stated it several times, very loud and proud. I don't like kids. Y'all are nice at a distance. I don't want children. I'm getting a cat for a reason. I have a cat. I might get a second cat. The original plan was 2 cats. We wound up with a tuxedo. He's wonderful. Nova's precious. If you're watching the speed paint version, I might try to remember to put up a photo of him. If you're watching on the Story Nook channel, there's actually a photo of him in the background that's juxtaposed on the fucking bookshelf, you can say. But back to more stories, and less me ranting about how my family sucks and I hate them. I don't hate all of them. I just dislike a majority of my fucking family. Like, there's 3 people on my dad's side that I still talk to. No one on my mom's side, because I don't have a bond with any of those bitches. And one of those people is kind of shaky at best. But our next story comes from user Snake in the Dirt in the Grass, and it's titled Mom Changes and Breastfeeds Her Baby in Our Private Office. Hi folks, this is a repost of something I experienced today. I currently work in a private office building of a very busy public attraction. The building is newly renovated, and we do not have much signage, but it's pretty clear it's an office space since you can see offices through the ground window. One of the doors backs onto the area of the attraction and is usually unlocked as staff come and go frequently. My coworker came back from their break and informed me that there was some random woman changing a dirty diaper in the stairwell. She was told to go to the correct changing facilities nearby, which is legitimately around the corner. Another coworker then informed me that the woman did not leave and had also started breastfeeding her child in the same place. She was then told to leave in a more harsh way. The place has loads of available changing areas for babies, and way more are near our building. And many of them are near our building. Her excuse for her behavior was, the baby was crying. Like, why would you bring a crying baby into an office building? She definitely knew it wasn't a public area. Edit. There are plenty of feeding and changing facilities for parents at this attraction. I don't have any opinions against breastfeeding, and I think people are entitled to breastfeed wherever. It's the fact that she chose to stay in a place she was told to leave multiple times. That is the main issue, right? You can't come in here and think, like, but my baby was crying. Babies cry. You can take your baby and move your child to an area where it can be taken care of properly, and then proceed to breastfeed them, change them, all that. To, like, less than a minute of discomfort's not gonna kill them. Like, the fuck. Our next story is by Jody Bo. No, it's Jedi. Jedi Bo Jedi Prime. I read that E is an O. I apologize to you Star Wars fans. Parents brought screeching baby to Five Nights at Freddy's. This happened a few hours ago, and I am still pissed. I went to see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie last night, since it was sold out on Friday and at every theater by me during the daytime. I found a theater by me that was showing Five Nights at Freddy's well until 11 p.m., so I figured it would be dead. It wasn't really, but still, okay. 9:40 p.m., the time where tiny children should be asleep, right? Nope. Yeah, a lot of people are surprised nowadays. Like, I remember my bedtime until I was well into high school was like 8 or 9 o'clock. But kids nowadays, they stay up all the damn time. Like, I don't even know if they have a fucking bedtime, but whatever. And it fucking surprises and confuses the shit out of me. Everyone is sitting down, and when the movie starts, the theater goes quiet, till the murmurs of a baby can be heard. A kid around 7 comes in, then a dad, Then a screeching baby and a mom. They came in right as the movie started, and they were loud the entire time. What day was this? Uh, it was from a month ago, but they mentioned Friday was sold out, so this is probably Saturday. So I get like coming in around 9ish, staying up late to take one child to see the movie if they have proper movie etiquette, but you don't take a baby. Alright, so they came in right as the movie started and were loud the entire time. Now this kid's this kid didn't cry at the jump scares. Instead, it kept making sounds for the entire run of the fucking movie. And I mean louder than the movie sounds. The people around me were pissed and kept shushing the kid as it waddled and ran up and down the aisle they were in. And the parents acted as if we were crazy and kept ignoring their whining, screaming baby as if it would just go away. People would leave, complain, and then the movie people came in. And when the movie people came in, we saw hope that they would be asked to leave. Instead, they just looked around for the ear bleed demon and fucked off as if they couldn't locate the screeches. At this point, the kid said, "Mama, goo goo gaga." It's like the kid is right fucking there. The mom took the kid out for like 5 minutes and then came back in loudly and said, "Mama really needs to see the movie. Put the kid on the ground and let it continue to run around." The father ignored the kid. The older child seemed unbothered, like I did not hear a peep from that kid the entire time. Crotch Goblin would go quiet for like 10 seconds, enough time for some hope, and then continue to run around, semi-sleep on the chairs. That annoying thing bored kids do. And just be a fucking menace to the theater. And you can feel the vibe in the theater. We aren't scared. We are all pissed. At least I know my row, since they were right ahead of us, so the screeching wasn't even muffled. It was like eardrum destruction. Then, right as the movie ended, and I mean the first credits came on, even before the pot lights turned back on, they were fucking gone. Now they leave? The fuck? And it just pisses me off so much, cause fuck the parents and fuck the theater for allowing that bullshit. We pay insane amounts of money just to see a movie. I've waited so fucking long for Five Nights at Freddy's and just wanted one nice evening out. And these families come in, and the theater people see the babies and say nothing. "Oh, you're going to take your 1-year-old into Conjuring 2? Happened to me. Yeah, I see nothing wrong with that. In my opinion, theaters should be 7+, because at 7 you should be old enough to just be quiet. I don't really hate the babies, even though I dislike kids, because they're too young to understand what be quiet means or what sit still means, but come on." Yeah, see, I feel like courtesy-wise, if you have a child under 5 or 6, so pretty much around the same age this person says, you should just rent your movies. Well, we don't have Blockbuster, but we have like Redbox and shit. You have Redbox. These movies are going to be on streaming within a week of them being in theaters. Pay to stream it. Yes, going to a movie theater is nice. I personally don't like movie theaters, but whatever. But go to the movie theaters. Go to the drive-in with your kids. Because at least then your kids are going to be contained in your car. Sure, you're going to smell the weed from everyone smoking in their car there, but hey, go to the fucking drive-in if you have like a young kid who you know struggles to sit still, or just rent the movie. It's a shame Blockbuster doesn't exist, but you have that Redbox thing. They stream shit. Do that, please. Thank you. No one deserves to have their movie ruined by kids. To have kids cry all throughout the beginning of Endgame cause Thanos got his stupid head chopped off, or for kids to screech cause the Emperor is scary, boo fucking who, he was on screen for 2 seconds and then it was over. Or for kids to ask, why is Batman a million fucking times? PG-13 or 14A should still mean something. It should mean if your kid ain't 13, they aren't getting fucking in. They don't get to get in and scream and cry throughout a movie. That's the point of most kids' movies, is that scary stuff is limited. And I had this happen when I was a kid, and my grandparents took me to see Pirates of the Caribbean, and Davy Jones scared the fuck out of me. But you know what they did? They took me home. They didn't let me scream or cry during the whole movie and ruin everyone else's days. They understood I was too young and took me home. It's not that hard, and I get it. If you don't have a sitter, that sucks. But why would you want to punish everyone else? Edit. For those saying I should ask for a refund, I should point out the theater isn't in the best shape, and by the time I got out, there were no employees around. It was 11:40, and I waited around for a bit, but there was no one. I was pissed and left for my bus. When another movie I saw there had a technical issue, GOTG Volume 1, I don't know what that stands for, they gave us vouchers that were expired, and then the theater closed for a few years. I avoided the place for years and went back last year and saw Batman. The roof was dripping water, and I had no clue if it was part of the movie or in real life. Found out when the pot lights came on. The theater staff aren't helpful and disappear, or as I said in the story, they don't do anything. I hate to tell you, they don't get paid enough to do anything. They really don't. And half the times when those people ask for the managers will kowtow over to those Karens and give them what the fuck they want. So yeah. People complained. They came in to look for the kid. It's a small theater room. It wasn't that hard. And after 20 seconds of barely looking, they left. Never going there again. For anyone interested, it was Simplex, and they suck. It's a shitty theater, but I've never encountered entitled people there since the town it's in is kind of sketchy. I figured the worst I'd encounter is my seat breaking. Again, lamo. Or the projector breaking. Again, lol. So, yeah. I understand completely why OP is angry. It's a very justified anger. Please don't take your little children to movie theaters. Like, if you want to take your child to the theater, make sure they're old enough. And old enough means, can they sit for a whole entire 2.5-hour movie? Can they sit still and not cause problems? And guess what? Like the OP said, kinda happens at around 11 or 8. 5 and 6, bit too young. Those little age ratings, they should mean something. Like, I remember being very confused when one of my nephews, he was like not even 10 yet. One, he was up at like 10 fucking o'clock at night, and he wanted to watch a rated R movie on the TV in the living room. I did not have a bedroom when I visited my dad, and I told him, no, you can't watch it, because I can't watch rated R movies, and I'm a preteen. Like, I was not even in high school yet. Like, I was in, like, middle school. So I was no older than 13. And he's like, well, can we call your mom? And I'm like, no, we can't call my mom and get her permission. She's asleep. Because he thought, well, if you call your mom and get her permission, that's fine. I'm just like, no, we can't. She's asleep. She's been in bed for 2 hours. She went to sleep at 9 o'clock, not 11. And I remember shortly after I kept her little precious baby from doing what the fuck he wanted, our Karen sister moved the couch into my full-blooded sister's bedroom and said, you can sleep here now. Which was fucked up. So even when I got my own room, which wasn't even my room, I had to share a room with my sister, I still had to sleep on a fucking couch. Which, not comfortable. Probably part of the reason why I have so much fucking back problems is I spent a lot of my time sleeping on a fucking couch. And my dad wondered why I didn't want to stay that long. Bitch, it's late. It's Sunday, it's dark, take me home. I want to sleep in my bed. Or at least the bed I have to share with my mom, because at least then I have a fucking bed. But whatever. I have a lot of rage and trauma, and I've been chatting for like 25 minutes, so thank you all for being here. Hope you had a great time. Hope you're remembering to stay hydrated. Make sure you eat healthy. Thanksgiving happened recently. How was that? Did you enjoy your family meals? I tell you stories about mine. Alright, bye bye!